This is the next episode of my XR Weekly News. We are in week 7, 2026. Yeah, and thank you so much for the reactions on my 10 years YouTube channel anniversary. Thank you so much. It was really nice. Perhaps you've seen that this week. The channel is, or VoodooDE VR is now 10 years old. Insane. And I'm doing a giveaway, so make sure to check out that video. I will link it in the description. Really nice. Thank you so much for everything. And otherwise, it's, you see, it still continues. Channel is still there. I'm still showing you the newest XR things. And yeah, so weather here is pretty cold still in Germany. And I need to tell you, it's very likely that next week I cannot show you weekly news because I'm on a short trip. Of course, XR related. So I don't think this will be possible to show you the news next week, but yeah, right after that, next weekend I will show it to you then. So yeah, looking forward to all of that, meeting new peoples and so on. Really cool. Yeah, everything about XR hardware, games, releases and sales. Let's have some fun with the XR weekly news and let's go.
VoodooDE.
So there's a new update for No Man's Sky. It's called Remnant, and this is really interesting. So No Man's Sky, if you didn't play it yet in VR, it's one of the biggest games that also support VR, and we can check it out here. This is the new gravity gun, so you can grab things that are too heavy to lift them up and put them somewhere else, but you can also use it as a projectile to kill enemies or so. And then in this new update, we also have some scavenging and recycling update. That means if there is a planet with a lot of rags and so on, we can recycle that things, put that into a machine, and then it will be recycled, and we can get new loot to have new items and things. And that's really cool. Yeah, here you can see it. That's the recycling. Absolutely amazing, and this is a good example. I mean, when No Man's Sky was released, it was a small disaster with bugs and performance problems. And here you can see if the developers care about their game, it can get from a disaster to a perfect game. And now it's an absolutely nice game. Absolutely, I can definitely recommend that. You can play it on PCVR and also PlayStation VR2. So if you didn't check it out yet, you should do it. Some strange things happening on the Apple Vision Pro platform belonging Disney Plus. So perhaps you've seen Disney Plus has a Dolby Digital and 3D support and so on. And now in some countries, they discovered it here in Germany first. They have removed that. They just removed that. Wait, where's my cable here? Give me a second. They removed it, and also Dolby Digital. Two of them were removed, and also from for example, from Czech Republic, I know that that it's removed, and this is bad. I mean, why should they do that? Many people ask me which of these video apps has 3D, because people want to see 3D, of course, and yeah, now I cannot say Disney Plus anymore. I mean, in the States, United States, it still seems to be there. But guys, the rumors say that it's about patent things between InterDigital and Disney Plus. So there's an ongoing patent dispute, but this is also happening in the United States, so it could be that it's also removed. So yeah, I don't know what's happening there. But it's only on the Apple Vision Pro. But on the other side, now finally they have an official YouTube app on the Apple Vision Pro, which is really cool. And this one supports 3D, and also on the new M5 it supports 8K. This is crazy. And that's what I really love. We have a nice app now. And I think now I will use it even more. Perhaps I will create a shorts video about this and will show you the how it looks. With the old Apple Vision Pro, with the M2, you only get 4K, but still, that's fine, right? Yeah, so that's weird. So, no idea. I hope 3D will come back to Disney Plus soon. So Titan Isles is coming to the PlayStation VR2 finally. This is a pretty cool action game. You move a lot. It's an action adventure shooter, I would say. And you are always in movement from platform to platform, shooting at enemies and so on. And it supports PlayStation VR2 from February 24, 2026. And it will also have like this adaptive trigger support and haptics, and also we have dynamic foveated rendering with eye tracking, so we have a native resolution, and if you have the PlayStation 5 Pro, you also get 120 frames per second. So if you didn't try it, and if you are an action fan, this is a really nice game. So this is interesting. The CTO of Meta, Andrew Bosworth, he talked a little bit about Steam Frame. So he was asked in a Ask Me Anything session, different things. He confirmed that they are still working on the Quest 4. It's still there. So if you didn't notice that in the last weeks or month, Meta stopped developing expensive games. They stopped Horizon Worlds and Horizon Feed and all the things. They closed studios. So the fact is that Meta will not focus on games like developing themselves, but they just provide the hardware. So they will still develop the Quest 4 and provide the hardware, but no games like Deadpool VR or Batman Arkham Shadow and things. So they just deliver the hardware. And that's the one thing. And now he was asked about Steam Frame. Do you learn from it? Do you support it? Is it a competitor? And he says a little bit of everything. So he says that he learns from other companies if they bring something new, because it don't cost them if they experiment with that. And that means that they just wait for Steam Frame to be released and see what happens. So for example, the Steam Frame has this wireless dongle to stream and so on. That's really interesting. Meta also wanted to do that. They experimented with that, but they said it was too much hassle. So they didn't continue with that. But they see that Steam goes that way, and if the consumer they love it, then perhaps they will change their strategy. Interesting. So they're waiting for that, and they also see Valve as a competitor. They see it as a competitor, and that's really good. And also, finally, Andrew Bosworth speaks about PC gaming again. So Meta abandoned PC gaming like the last years, but now it seems they watch what happens with the Steam Frame, because you can play it standalone and connect it to PCVR. And he says, the Quest 3 is also connected to PC, and there's also a lot of people that play PCVR with Quest. So they will still see what happens. But the fact that they wait for Steam Frame and check out if it's a success tells us that the release of the Quest 4 will be a longer wait. So I don't think it will be released this year, perhaps even not next year. We don't know. So if you ask me, should I wait for Quest 4? No, just go buy a Quest 3. It's a real nice headset. You can play PCVR and all the games from the Quest store absolutely fine. And that's gonna be a very interesting. But the problem is, I think PCVR is rising again, but the problem is the costs of the RAM and so on. We have a crisis here. It's very expensive, and that what's also, if Meta sees that Steam Frame is not successful, they will also abandon VR perhaps, because they are waiting for that. But it depends on the price of the Steam Frame. So the problem is the Steam Frame has not very good technical specifications. It's quite like Quest 3, but they don't even have hand tracking, they don't even have mixed reality, so the Quest 3 is even a little bit better in some cases, and that's why I really hoped that the Steam Frame will not be more expensive than $700 or so. But now with the crisis of the RAM and so on, somebody talked about $1,000. This would be a really big problem if the Steam Frame will be $1,000. I mean, when you compare, like, Meta is not so, people don't like Meta so much, then they love Valve. So perhaps they want to spend a little bit more and buy a Steam Frame. But the Quest 4 will also be more expensive than the Quest 3. So it all depends on Steam Frame and how good it is, how the people buy it, how expensive that is. And I'm absolutely looking forward what Meta is doing after that. Yeah, and on the other side, Meta and EssilorLuxottica, so Ray-Ban and so on, they sell a lot of smart glasses, so 7 million in 2025. This is really nice success, I would say. Compared also the Quest 2 was sold 20 million units in 2.5 years. That's pretty similar, so really nice. I mean, I also have the Ray-Bans. Look at this here. 1, 2, 3. I have the Ray-Bans. I love them. But here in Germany, it's not really common that you use smart glasses. When I go in the big cities like Cologne, Munich, Hamburg, Berlin, I don't see anyone with the Ray-Ban glasses. The Germans are afraid of that because it has a camera, privacy, and all that things. And when I was in the United States, I did see many people with the Ray-Bans, and that's very interesting. I really hope that in Europe, that people will be more liking the smart glasses in the future. But yeah, it's. I can understand why Meta is focusing on the smart glasses because they are a really big success, but they will also have competitors coming from Google and Apple and so on. So we will see where that leads. Good news for people that have the PlayStation VR2. In my opinion, one of the best VR multiplayer shooters that came out in the last years, Forefront, will get PlayStation VR2 support. There's no release date yet, but it will come. And the cool thing is it will support cross-play with all the other platforms. That means if your friend has a Quest version, another one has a Pimax headset connected to PCVR, another one has a Pico, and you have PlayStation VR2, you can play together with them. That's how you should do it. Thanks to the developers. This game is really nice. If you didn't try it, I made a video about this. It's an absolute nice game. And hopefully they will succeed also in the future. So the weekly survey. This is gonna be interesting. I asked you what breaks your immersion most: foggy lenses, cable, small field of view, or stuttering. And most people said stuttering or bad performance. I can definitely understand that. If it's stuttering, this even can cause motion sickness. So this is a really huge problem. But for me, I choose this one because due to my head shape, I always have a very small field of view, and it even gets smaller if the headset has a small field of view. So for me, this kills the immersion most if I have a small field of view. But interesting that not many people care about the cable. Could be because they have a Quest and they never know how it is with a cable. But yeah, very interesting. Also, you wrote a lot of things. God rays, interesting. But when the battery runs out. Discomfort. Yeah, I know. All of there is no multiple choice option in the YouTube surveys, unfortunately, and you only have 4 options. I'm sorry. I know this is not so easy, but headset pressing down on my cheeks. Yeah, of course. Dog knows. Yeah, guys, really interesting. So stuttering is the biggest problem here. And I can understand that. It also depends on your PC. Perhaps many people didn't even experience stuttering or so. The new survey, this is the results from my German channel. Pretty similar, although more people say that foggy lenses and sweating is killing the immersion. Yeah, and the new survey is about VR subscription. So I reported about Meta Quest Plus, and they have the indie catalog now and so on. So I thought, I want to know if you are interested in VR subscription. So the question is, do you have an active VR subscription? For example, there's Meta Quest Plus, there's Wiveport Infinity, and some people even use the PlayStation Plus for, sometimes there are VR games included. And now you can answer, yes, you have subscribed permanently to any of those subscriptions. I used to, but cancelled. Perhaps write in the comments why you cancelled. And only if there are free trials. Sometimes you have a free trial. And if you absolutely don't care about VR subscription, and then you say, no, I prefer buying games individually. So this is very important to please that you take part in the survey, as many votes as possible. The link is in the description. And then we will see next week what happens. I'm curious. And let's check out the releases. On Meta, we have Orcs Must Die by The Blade. You get 10% off every Meta Quest game with my coupon code VoodooDE. Check this out. Orcs Must Die, perhaps you know it from the PC games. You have to defend with traps and so on against orcs. And in the Quest version, you can even fight yourself if you want to try that. And then on Steam VR, we have Crossings. This is a Viking-style action roguelite adventure. Looks really good. And then we have Carbon Dreamland. This is crazy, like looks in a amusement park. And then we have online co-op with action and so on. And then we have Dead Splash. This is a zombie shooter, if you still want to try one. And then we have Deep Sleep. This is I would say, adventure VR game in space. Then Tinker Pilot. This is a flight simulator, space simulator. And then we have The Great Ocean. This is a little bit like Subnautica, but with exploring. And then we have Flycaster, a fishing simulator game. Then we have Aura. This is a hack and slash role-playing game in the weird universe. And then we have also God of Bath. We can fight and so on. So, looks like there are some more PC VR games this week. Interesting. There's nothing new on the PlayStation VR2 this week. And let's check out the sales. So I have something in cooperation with Pimax. So follow the following thing. Until February 28th, you can, if you buy a Pimax Crystal Super or Crystal Light via my code VoodooDE, then you normally save, you still save, I think 2 or 3%. But if you use that code and then you order the headset, then you will get another code. And if you share this code to a friend who also buys Pimax headset, you will get both a free Lighthouse faceplate. This is pretty cool, I must say, because when you check out, it's $200. You get $200 for free. And then you can use it for the Steam VR tracking system, Lighthouse system, which is really good. And you can also use the index controllers then. So make sure to check that out. So cool action from Pimax that you save with my coupon code and also get the free Lighthouse faceplate if you buy it together with a friend. Really nice. And then on Meta, we still have Racket NX. It's $9.99, one of my favorite games. By the way, you can find all the sales on my homepage in the description below, VoodooDE-VR.com. And then on Steam we have Moss, really nice jump and run platform action adventure. It's 70% off. Then we have Mask Maker, also a really nice adventure, 80%. Then we have Fisherman's Tale 2 puzzle adventure, 70% on PlayStation VR 2. We have Toy Trains. You get it 80% off, really nice game. Across the Valley, it's a farming simulation, 75% off. Alien Rogue Incursion, 75%. Cities VR, 80%. Chernobyl, again, nice adventure, 70% off. And Vampire the Masquerade, just as also a nice sneaking adventure, 80% off. So guys, please go in the description, take part in the survey, and also check out my homepage to find some cool news and so on. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Please share my news anywhere and subscribe, hit the bell, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya.
VoodooDE